We're on the inland highway that connects Melbourne and Brisbane. It's the Newell Highway, studded with features like this giant radio telescope here at Parkes in central New South Wales. The Newell Highway features in this episode of Travel Oz. Hello, welcome. I'm Grainger.
Ahead, soaring with the eagles in an outback thermal. A hot air affair at first light. And panning for that elusive nugget at a festival of gold. We'll scan the night skies from famous observatories. Join a band of Elvis lookalikes.
Can't go on together.
And brave the pecking emus of the Warrumbungles. All to come as we explore the Newell Highway, taking in West Wyalong, Orange, Parkes, the Warrumbungles and Narrabri.
We're joining the Newell Highway just north of the Murrumbidgee irrigation area. Our first town, West Wyalong.
It's a town with a rich gold rush past and a population of just 5,000 people, which includes their colourful events organiser, Gail Platts.
West Wyalong, what a place to visit, what a place to live in. We've got beautiful rose garden, the DC3 plan down the main street, the Crooked Mile, and we've got great places to eat, great places to stay as well. Who wouldn't want to live in West Wyalong?
The main street here is called the Crooked Mile, a stretch that local farmer Andrew Buttonshaw knows well.
So Andrew, the Crooked Mile.
Well, the Crooked Mile's because this wasn't where the town was planned originally. The town was planned up in Wyalong. So when they put the road in, they just followed the old track that went through the mining shaft.
So it wiggled and waggled and...
Well, they say there were trees and shafts and stuff, so it just followed where the first person went through and left a track. And that's why it's crooked like this, and you can't see from one end of the street to the other.
Then there's a collection of historic government buildings in neighbouring Wyalong, including a fully recreated courtroom. It's in this precinct that glass artist Elaine Marshall creates her works of art.
You've got such brilliant creations like this around your neck here. What have we got here?
This is dichroic glass, and this is a pendant that I've made. It's taken 2 to 3 firings to get it to look like this. This is a drape vase. I just love this colour of sheet glass that comes, and then I drape it over a mould, so it takes 2 days to make each vase.
Elaine's workshop furnace is heated to 920 degrees, enough to turn the glass molten, at which time she rakes the liquid glass to mix the colours and create wonderful shapes and patterns.
And a big range of creations that you've made.
Everything I've made here is all made by me. So I make plates, platters, bowls, vases and hundreds of jewellery items. I think I'm very lucky to be able to do something I love every day.
In this part of Australia, conditions are perfect for gliding. Dozens of glider pilots have brought their gliders to West Wyalong this week, with veteran aviator Graham Brown inviting me to join him soaring high in the sky.
Great, how exciting. You're getting me up in the air. Yeah. This glider, does it have a name?
No, it doesn't have a name. It's an ASK-21. It was built in Germany.
So we're going to do some circuits. Got the tow plane on, the tow rope. We've been towed down the airstrip. We'll be towed up to what sort of elevation here?
We'll tow up to 2,000 foot above the ground.
At that height, our tow rope is released. We're on our own. All you can hear at these heights is the whisper of the air rushing by. It's at the same time exhilarating and serene. Taking to the air like a bird with wings outstretched, soaring on the rising thermals. Never flown in a plane without a motor before. Graham's configuration today means that I'm up front and he's behind, steering us ever so gently above West Wyalong.
It's spectacular and might make your tummy go up a little bit.
Just had breakfast.
All that silent aerobatics, and it's time to land.
Oh, Graham! Oh, what a hoot! You were pulling some G's there, weren't you?
About 1.5 G.
And so quiet.
Yeah, quiet in the glider, as long as it's sealed up and there's not too much air leaks around the canopy. It's beautifully quiet in a glider.
And so smooth.
Oh, that's the good pilot.
Quiet and smooth. Thank you ever so much. Thank you ever so much. Good on you.
West Wyalong was born in the state's last big gold rush in the 1890s. These days, it's home to the state's biggest working gold mine. A massive open-cut pit lies at the heart of the Barrick Cowal gold mine, with a fleet of supersized trucks operating to extract some $200 million worth of gold every year. The gold trail leads us on to nearby Grenfell. We've arrived for the annual Gold Festival, starting with a spot of panning with Councillor Carly Brown.
Well, Carly, are we going to get something here today?
I hope so. As you can see, there's lots of people enjoying it today.
Grenfell has a gold history.
Yes, it does. It was founded on gold history in the 1860s. Lots of poems have been written about it and history recorded, and that's how many of these little towns on the gold trail began.
Henry Lawson, of course, was born on the gold
Henry Lawson was born on the goldfields in Grenfell, and that is one of our most proudest claims to fame. We've got a small, tiny piece of gold.
How much is that
in
worth?
Grenfell. How much is that worth?
20 cents?
$10. $10.
Amongst the entertainment here, dancers dressed in period costume. A farrier at work forging the old-fashioned way. And Australia's longest stock whip, made and mastered by local Richard Tormod.
All right, Richard, what do we got here?
This is the 66-foot crowd drawer.
66-foot long whip.
Yes.
That's big. What's the trick for cracking this whip?
Mainly don't let it hit you.
All righty.
OK, Greg, that means step aside. From the awesome Whips and Gold Festival of Grenfell to a heavenly experience at First Light nearby.
Well, it's just before dawn, sun's about to rise, icy cold, but sure looking forward to warming up from the hot air balloon we're about to take off in.
We're preparing to go flying with veteran balloonist Alan Mulligan. Conditions are perfect this day for a dawn liftoff with Alan's Aussie balloon trek.
What a gentle, gentle liftoff. You never tire of this thrill, do you?
It's a hard day at the office.
How many flights do you reckon you've done?
I'd say probably 2,000.
2,000. You do it for fun, but you also take paying passengers up?
Mostly paying passengers.
And just absolutely beautiful, rich countryside around Canowindra and Orange here.
Beautiful, isn't it?
So, Alan, tell me about Canowindra and Orange, the perfect conditions for flying here.
It's in a big basin, mostly calm, there's good farmer relations, great spot to fly. One of the prettiest spots to fly, as you'll see.
It is amazing, isn't it? We've got this thin little wicker basket between us and falling to our deaths, and yet you feel incredibly, totally safe.
Exactly.
Now, mate, we're starting to come down again. You better hit that gas burner again.
And then an ever so gentle touchdown to wrap up what's been a magical hour amidst the clouds. Later that day, we drive on to Orange to meet winemaker Gerald Naif and his wife Angie, who've designed and planted a country garden that is in full bloom.
I love plants and I love gardening.
Well, wonderful, wonderful garden. How come?
It's just great climate here and the soil is beautiful. Yeah, it's really good.
So you have designed it, a work in progress over the years?
Definitely a work in progress.
So the same dirt that's got your garden looking so beautiful is obviously very, very good for the grapes you grow.
Yeah, it's really good for the grapes. And I think the thing that really plays in along with the soil is the high altitude and the increased UV light.
On Gerald and Angie's back porch, I'm shown the rich collection of wines they have produced.
And this is your home, this is your living.
This is indeed. It's my love, my product. It's entirely made here, it's grown here. I love making wine. So of course, this is my passion. Now comes the fun part. I'd like you to actually enjoy a sip of this.
No difficulty doing that. Here's cheers.
Cheers.
Lovely meeting you both.
Lovely meeting you. You get to actually sample what I'm all about.
Late that afternoon, we head into Central Orange for a celebration of wine and food. It's Wine Week here in Orange, with a big crowd enjoying the night markets. You can sample homemade chocolates with Dean Chimenti.
What's the go here? Beans from South America?
Yeah, we get our beans imported from all around the world. This is full of antioxidants and it's just amazing for your health. This is the real stuff. Now this is a 68% Samoan. That's what you look for in a good chocolate, is a beautiful snap like that.
Thank you.
And this is lovely stuff.
After you.
And you let that just sit in your mouth for a little bit. And you'll just feel it start melting away.
It's true.
And you got all those different flavours coming through.
You're passionate about your work.
Oh, I love it, yeah, there's no doubt about it, yeah. I just hope everyone else is as well.
Chocolate. Music. Dancing. And lots of wine. Then a slice of pizza baked by Ian, the big daddy of wood fires.
What do we got? What are you bringing out for us?
It's going to be a Hawaiian coming out of the oven. Pizzas go wonderfully well with lots of different wines, and people are all here tonight enjoying a nice drop of wine, so what else, will they do except enjoy a pizza with it? It's a beautiful product. It's all made with love. That's the secret. That's the secret ingredient.
Fantastic. Well, is that the one I'm buying?
Made to order, so you'll have to join the queue.
And finally, a refreshing spirits and cordial mix with Mel Ashton.
So, Mel, what's happening here?
We are mixing our gorgeous Miller Cordial, which is apple, rosella and ginger, with a local fabulous sparkling Chardonnay by Angalon. Because mixers this summer are really in, they're really fashionable across the globe. Whether it's beautiful sparkling wine from Orange or gin or vodka, this is
Cordial
a great summer drink. What do you think?
Oh, I really do. I really love it.
You probably needed it after that.
We've travelled to Parkes in central New South Wales, named after the founding father of the Australian Federation, Sir Henry Parkes. Parkes, home to the great radio telescope, the Dish, and also a wonderful collection of Elvis memorabilia.
The giant radio telescope here is known as the Dish. It starred in a movie of the same name, relayed the first moonwalk pics around the world, and today is very active, with thousands of extraterrestrial experiments conducted. Glenn Nagel is showing me around this morning.
The dish, yes, is an absolutely vital part of astronomy, and we are leaders in this particular area, actually developing much of the technology that's being used on other radio telescopes around the world. Of course, a lot of people know the film The Dish, but of course that was a movie, not a documentary. It didn't tell the entire story. The dish, of course, was the largest instrument in the Southern Hemisphere at the time. The research we're doing today on the dish is actually really exciting. It's helping us to understand something that Einstein theorised decades ago about gravitational waves. What we're looking for in those pulsars are little wobbles, little changes to those delicate little signals coming from them, and that may be an indication of how space and time itself is being distorted out there.
Up in the control room, Glenn's colleague, Dish Supervisor John Sarkissian, is in charge of operations this day.
The Parkes Radio Telescope is arguably one of the finest single-dish radio telescopes in the world. The Parkes telescope is designed to detect signals from the furthest reaches of the universe. In many ways, you can think of, if we did discover a signal from an alien life, it'll be a one-way conversation, because the signals that travel from that alien to the Earth would take thousands of years to reach us.
Now we're at the heart of the dish. Big.
Yeah, well, the telescope from this level on up weighs 1,000 tonnes, or the equivalent of about 3 fully laden jumbo jets. And we can point this 1,000-tonne structure to an accuracy of about 100th the width of your little finger, projected onto the sky at arm's length. Precision that we can point the telescope is one of the secrets of the telescope's success.
Our experience at the dish reminds us that man has been stargazing for tens of thousands of years, and only now are we beginning to understand what's out there. Another of Parkes' attractions is a collection of Elvis Presley memorabilia.
It's just like we're really in Graceland. Elvis memorabilia everywhere, like his giant double bed, like his couch, and artefacts all over, all owned by the Wiggles founder, Greg Page.
The Parkes collection is extensive, from clothes to motorbikes and motor vehicles.
Then there's Elvis's last Cadillac, a 76 model. He only ever drove this once just before he died.
Parkes also hosts an annual Elvis Festival, with 4 Elvis lookalikes today showing off his clothes. His moves. And his music.
Can't go on together with suspicious minds.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Elvis is leaving the building.
Thank you very much.
Farewell, Elvis. Hello to the Warrumbungles.
We've arrived at that geological wonder that are the Warrumbungles. We're about to explore them and their sensational formations, along with an array of telescopes here at the Siding Springs Observatory.
The Warrumbungles are the remnants of a huge volcano that was active some 15 million years ago. We've arrived amidst its formations as the wildflowers are coming into bloom. With our guide today, National Parks Ranger May Fleming.
It's a geological wonder out here, eh?
It certainly is. An ancient shield volcano. It's truly magnificent.
Great to explore.
Certainly, and very, very unique. It's just a wonderful experience to be able to get up and close to these formations, touch them and experience them.
May, so silent out here. A lot of other beautiful flowers.
At springtime, Warrumbungles are alive with wildflowers, with the full colour spectrum, right through the beautiful yellows, the darling pea with your pinks, and then that wonderful fringed lily, that vivid purple, so delicate but beautiful.
These grass trees, love them.
Yes, they're magnificent. They grow to 5 metres.
Wildflowers and wildlife. May shows me the best.
We've got all these eastern grey kangaroos all around us.
They are particularly happy to be here in the Central Valley, which is where visitors will be.
And there right at the edge of all this is a little wallaby. Is that a redneck?
Correct, yes. We're very lucky because generally they're quite shy.
Now these ones are small, a couple of little skinks.
That's right. They tend to be the clever ones that can hide away in crevices and under logs.
One of May's colleagues, Sue Brookhouse, has been treating native wildlife rescued in a recent bushfire. This koala was close to death when she was found.
They've just done a recent survey of koalas around the Pilliga area and they've hardly found any. Their numbers really crashed in the drought and they just started picking up again, and then we had the fire coming through. She'll go back to the wild. It'll be a fair way down the track.
Sue is also caring for some orphan parrot chicks.
Rosellas are really easy to feed. Parrot species have crops, so it's like their second stomach. It's all full of food now, so you don't feed them again until that actually disappears.
One delightful orphan that Sue is treating is this young Wallaroo Joey.
Would you like something to... Ooh. You'd like something to eat? Drink? This little Wallaroo, it's a female, and they normally live in the rocky outcrops. Were quite common in the Warrumbungle National Park, but now there's not very many of them left because that was where the hottest part of the fire ran. So this little female will be rehabilitated and sent back out into the wild.
Another group of creatures that escaped the fires unscathed were these emus.
Have you ever seen so many emus at the same time? They're very inquisitive. I'm surrounded by pecking emus. Pecking my pants, pecking my arms, pecking my pockets. Oh.
Sitting astride the peaks of the Warrumbungles is the Siding Spring Observatory. 16 giant telescopes positioned here because the skies are so clear and the light pollution low. We've been invited into the biggest of them, the Anglo-Australian Observatory, with astronomer Katrina Seeley.
We've got 16 telescopes spread across the mountain, run by different countries all over the world. This telescope that we're standing in here now is the Anglo-Australian telescope. It's the largest optical telescope in Australia. We can position those 400 fibres anywhere on that plate to look at 400 galaxies simultaneously. In Australia, we've actually found that the universe is expanding, but that expansion is accelerating.
Sunset over the Warrumbungles signals that the Siding Spring observatories are about to come to life. The ever so clear night skies are an astronomer's dream.
Sky is just lighting up with billions of stars out there.
You can see the fabulous location that we're in. The whole universe is just right above us. There are more stars in our galaxy than there are grains of sand on the beach, and they're all out there for us to explore. And there are just as many galaxies beyond our galaxy as there are stars in our galaxy. It's just mind-boggling.
You're never tired, do you, of such beauty out there?
Absolutely not. Every night I look up at the sky, I'm just amazed and astounded with how much we don't know and how much we need to know.
After a night of stargazing, it's time to move on further north along the Newell Highway.
Destination along the Newell Highway is Narrabri and surrounds the hot artesian bores of the Pilliga and the spectacular columns here at the Sawn Rocks.
Out on the flat plains of the Pilliga Forest, the waters of the Great Artesian Basin flow freely, creating a series of waterholes. We're exploring those with colourful local guide Dick Fagan.
This is artesian bore water.
It is.
That has been pumped up from underground, red hot.
39 degrees. Runs into here and keeps the abbeys warm.
And now this is the backwater from the pools we're about to swim in. Hot water artesian bore therapy.
Therapeutic. Bloody beautiful.
Have you done it?
Oh, all the time, yeah. Price is right, don't pay a cent.
These waters are so warm, they're hailed for their therapeutic qualities. And visitors from afar travel here to swim and relax in the baths installed by Narrabri Council.
Well, Dick, who was going to tell me I was going to be sharing a hot springs with you? A genuine artesian bore.
Yeah, who would know that, eh? After me coming here 1,000 years as an old drover and the minute you're doing this with you. Comes from up to about 3/4 of a mile underground. Pours out of that borehead there at 198,000 gallons a day. Just keeps coming, never dries up.
Our final experience is at the Sawn Rocks, giant columns of rock that tower cathedral-like over the surrounding bushland.
What geological formation took place to get this?
Okay, what's happened here is it's all to do with the volcano 17 to 21 million years ago that was in this mountain range here, and the lava has run and cooled slowly and allowed it to form these pipes here known as organ pipes. They're pentagonal shaped rocks. That's how they've ended up like this.
One of the things that concerns me a little is that we have all over here at the base of these cathedral-like rocks, we have all these huge slabs that have fallen.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's very dangerous walking out here, but it's fantastic. You'll never see anything like this in the world. That thing there's 40 metres high and 30 metres down into the ground.
Into the ground? Someone's gone down and measured it?
I'd imagine, yeah.
Not you?
Geologist, not me, mate. Too far to dig. Call me Dick, not Doug.
Truly amazing. 5 sides look like they've been glued together, and all these have come down all at the same time. Hopefully nothing's dropping today.
Today, I'm with you. We wouldn't want one of these landing on us. But it's amazing they've all come down as one complete rock. Some of these are still glued together, but these ones here must have just hit the ground with such sudden force, they've just shattered apart and sat there as they are. Great for brown snakes.
Well, it's been a real adventure travelling along the Newell Highway from here at Sawn Rocks. I'm Greg Grainger. Happy travels.